Good morning. Hello, loved ones. It's been a minute. I'm still recuperating. I'm fresh. Y'all see how clear I look? Okay. I'm very, very refreshed and relaxed. All right, I just dropped in real quick. I do have to make the video about the cruise. The cruise was so horrible and so great at the same time. Yes, okay, it can be both things. It was horribly wonderful. Anyway, I just want to hit this real quick. I just saw an article where there was a mother outdoor dashing with her two twin children, her two twin boys, 5 months old. She went into the Pizza Hut. She left the car running and she left the doors unlocked. A woman jumped in, took the kids. One twin has been found at an airport. They don't know where the other baby is. I was looking in the comment section, and what troubled me was that people were like, why are they blaming the mother and not the lady who took the car? In my opinion, yes, the lady who took the car definitely is responsible. However, how is the mother not to blame? Those are your children. You need to protect your kids, period. Those are your kids. Why would you leave children in a car running unlocked? Make it make sense. I don't know how and why things are responsibility is never put on the parent anymore. It's your kid. If you leave the car running and unlocked and someone takes your children, it's your fault. It's your fault. We live in 2023. We know what happens. We know how crime goes down. It's your fault. Make no mistake, it's your fault. We're going to stop sugarcoating shit and holding hands and just making excuses for people. How is it not the mother's fault? If you're going to leave your kids in the car, lock the door and turn it off. Period, point blank. Lock the door. Turn the car off. It's very simple. I don't get it. And I'm really concerned about our society. This is why we're in the toilet now, because nobody takes accountability for their own actions. In my world, when shit happens to me, I blame me, even when it ain't my fault. If somebody steals my wallet, it's my fault. Unless they snatch the bitch while I'm walking down the street. But if I let somebody in my house and I leave my purse around, or I let someone in my car, I leave my purse with them and they take my money, that's my fault. I should have known better, because I have to protect me. I'm responsible for me. So you're responsible for your children. Real shit. Now, what else did I see? Did y'all see the lady down in Miami, Florida, who tore up the airport because her kids got lost? She missed the flight. Her kids walked off. I don't know how old these kids were. I don't know how you miss a flight. If you know the flight starts boarding at 12:30, shouldn't you and your party be at the gate at 12:15? I'm just saying. So this woman literally was ripping the kiosk apart. The kiosk where they check you in, put your bag in or whatever. Tore the airport up. It is an embarrassment, okay? Complete embarrassment. The embarrassment that I'm feeling is because every time a black woman does something, they got to be all black women. Now, I'm not even going to lie to y'all. When I was getting off that cruise ship, this girl came walking up, because you have to scan your card to get off, and they tell you if you have a balance. I paid, my shit was hooked up to my credit card, so anything I purchased automatically came off, no problem, whatever. However, this little white girl showed her ass so bad, y'all, because she owed money, and she was like, my mom checked out. I'm 19. Y'all, security had to come. They had to shut down the line. Now, I was standing there because I had set my luggage down, but I didn't have the tag, but the luggage wasn't out in the terminal yet. So they were like, oh, we have to shut the line down because the terminal is crowded. And I'm rolling because I'm like, oh, hell no, they don't. They shut this terminal down because this chick is up here acting a fool over the balance of money she owes, a white woman. But even if they had put that video out, they wouldn't apply it to all white women. It would only be applied to her. So that black woman acting a damn fool in the airport, and I mean, she was acting a fool, y'all. She looked like she was dressed for a wrestling match. It was just a hot ass mess. I mean, literally ripping the computers off the desk like crazy, okay? But that got to represent all black women. But meanwhile, this white chick acting a fool down to the boat, it only applied to her. We have to stop doing that, and we feed that fire. We keep putting that out there. We make it seem like it's all black women. It's not all black women, okay? I travel all the time, and I have never torn up a kiosk ever. Hmm. I haven't lost my children at the airport. Right. I don't leave my kids in cars unlocked, running. I don't do those things. We have to take accountability. I often have conflict with people because of stupid things like this, ignorant things, things that make sense to me but that don't make sense to other people. Logic is out the window. Common sense is not common anymore. But we can't blame because one person act a fool, it's every woman in that race. But that only applies to black women. Like I said, white women can do all kind of shit. They even have labeled them Karens, but yet all white women aren't considered Karens. See what I'm saying? But all black women are considered ghetto and all of that good shit when one person does something. We have to get away from that. That's not cool. All right, I just wanted to drop in real quick. I gotta make my I wish that I had recorded the conversation I had with my travel agent, because that would have been the perfect video to drop about the cruise, because it was hilarious and he just could not believe that I had such a horribly good time. It was horrible and good at the same time. Okay. So we'll get into that. There were a lot of missteps, baby. First of all, the cruise left late. Luckily, I live right near New York. I'm 45 minutes from Midtown Manhattan. As I was about to get on the highway, they said, hey, don't come. The ship is late. So I finally get down there. I was going to be down there. I was boarding at 12. Then they said, don't come until 2. I show up there. I get there around 2. One mind said I should have gone early, but I'm glad that I didn't, because that just would have been longer torture. And God has changed me so much that nothing makes me angry, you guys. Nothing. It's unbelievable. Anywho, got down there 2 o'clock. I didn't make it to my damn room on that ship until 6:10 maybe. When I tell y'all it was 32 degrees in New York City, and we waited in that damn line outside on that pier for about, I'm going to say I waited about 3 hours and 45 minutes, 3 hours and a half or so. And they had heat blowing down in the line, but I met up with some people after on the cruise, and they was telling me how they were sitting inside the terminal, and they had those people sitting on that cold ass concrete out there. Now, see, I'm thinking, and this is probably why I didn't get mad either after the fact, even though nothing makes me angry anymore. However, there were people who flew in. There were people who came from Philly, from D.C., Maryland area. The other people flew in from other places to take this cruise. So they were there since like 8 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, because, again, we were supposed to start boarding. The boat was late. I just wish I would have did the whole conversation. But I'm going to do a whole separate video when I comb my hair and all that. Y'all know I like to look presentable at times. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a good and a bad trip, I basically went to rest, and thank God that was my only goal, because I damn sure got a lot of rest. So I told you, look how clear I am. I am so clear and relaxed. Unbelievable. But it is Christmas week as well. I forgot that it was Christmas, because y'all know this is not the best time of year for me. However, I did order some gifts and stuff before I left, so I got to sort through that and wrap some stuff tonight. But yeah, it was horrible and it was great at the same time. I can't lie. I will not tell you all lies. So yes, I have to get with Norwegian Cruise Line. I have to do that survey, but I'm also going to contact the higher up, because y'all know goddamn well that I spent a lot of money on this cruise, and I will be compensated one way or another. They can just give me a discount on a future cruise on a different ship. I will never sail on the Getaway again. Okay, the Norwegian Cruise Getaway, no ma'am. It was a beautiful ship. The staff was amazing. They did nothing wrong. Okay, my steward, my cabin steward, he was wonderful. Checked on me, took very good care of me. I have no complaints about the staff. But it was the weather, it was the speeding, it was a lot of bullshit that went on. A lot of bullshit. The speeding was unbelievable. See, this was my first cruise, so I wasn't clear about what was going on. Because I'm like, why the hell is this boat rocking like that? And if you watch my live I did. I told y'all that the rocking was unfucking believable. And that is why I had just made that live, like, as we were pulling into Bermuda. Thank God that rocking had got on my damn nerves so bad that morning I was up ready to get off that boat at like 7 o'clock. They didn't let us off that boat until late. It was like 10:30 or so. They had already canceled the excursions, but I didn't know that because again, I'm getting off the boat as soon as they docked. I got off. So I'm looking for the excursion that I was supposed to go on. That day I was supposed to go to Horseshoe Bay. The next day I was going to go to Caves and Waves. Thank God, because Caves and Waves was my true intention. I really wanted to see that, okay, and experience that. So I get out there and I don't see the Horseshoe Bay people, but I see this lady with the sign and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm looking for Horseshoe Bay. And then I say to the lady, I'm like, listen, I got a ticket for tomorrow. Do you think I could jump on the bus and go now? She's like, let me call and see if they got a room. So she called. They had one seat left. I went. Thank God. Get back, and that's when you find out the excursions have been canceled. I got a refund for the Caves and Waves. Thank God I went. Thank God I jumped on the bus, because let me tell you something. Had I not seen that, the cruise would have been a bus pretty much for me, because the food that was that wasn't really specialty dining that I went to that night. The pictures that I put up, but the buffet, I was not happy with that at all. But people have different standards, so what wasn't good to me may have been good to others. But this is to clue y'all in on the food situation. I threw away 3 orders of wings. Now, y'all know I love my wings, don't play. But I threw away 3 orders, and I wasn't the only one. And then I said to the lady, I was like, can they just make them harder? Like, cook them twice? And she's like, oh, they bake them, they don't fry them. First of all, I strongly recommend that because all the staff was like Asian, Filipino, and I like that every person had on their name tag, it told you what country they were from. So it was a few people from Zimbabwe, not many black people, not at all. I could count the black people I've seen, maybe 6. But everybody else was like I said, Filipino, they Asian people or whatever. But they need some Jamaican cooks, some Mexican cooks, some chefs from other places in the world to give that food depth. Because I'm gonna tell you, I was not impressed. And I know good food, honey. Y'all know this. And the thing about when you travel, you never know. Because remember that time I went to Jamaica in 2017, I took my son. And remember I told y'all it was like Survivor Island. We was cracking the fuck up. We was like, oh my God, where's the food? There's a standard of food. There's a quality of food when you're on vacation. And I like a level 9 and above. This wasn't for me. This was college cafeteria, type that buffet. Not the restaurants, but just the buffet. But the buffet is very important. I guess if you like it basic or whatever, but there weren't enough options for me. Now keep in mind, there were a lot of Asian people on the cruise as well. And these people travel, honey. Some of them were going back. Like, people stay on the boat for the month. Go figure. I wouldn't have took that trip again. I would have got my ass off in New York when we got back after all of that rocking. But the Asian ladies was like, oh my God, the food horrible. She was like, no crab leg, no shrimp, no nothing. No seafood. What? No seafood? I said, girl, I'm telling you, no seafood. I didn't even think about the seafood aspect. I was just like, just wasn't enough options for me. And the thing about when you travel in the Caribbean, and even when I go to DR, like, in the morning on those buffets, there's beans and rice and stewed something, honey. Stewed chicken, oxtails, there's gravy, baby. There are things there for you to eat. I'm not used to that standard, we got a little fruit, we have a little pancake here. No. See, and the other thing is, you got to remember, this is after COVID. So everything has changed. The entire industry has changed. And just everything has changed in general. As far as mask wearing, y'all know I wore my mask on the elevator because it wasn't that crowded. And y'all know I managed to stay away from people. I make it a point. That's how I've always lived my life. So that's not that big of a deal. But yeah, it was, it was good. It was good and bad. How do you fuck up chicken wings, though, is beyond me. Excuse me. That was the killer for me. Okay. I had the drink package. I don't drink that much, so I didn't expect to get my money's worth out of that at all, but I didn't really care. Like I said, I spend good money because I like quality shit. And this, like I said, the visuals were good. My room was good. The staff was good. The food was just horrible, in my opinion. Um, the boat rocking was unbelievable. And that was due to them speeding. Like a seasoned cruiser said to me, oh, they were speeding. That's why. And I figured, baby, because it felt like I was on a damn speedboat. I ain't going to even lie. And the other thing was, every cruiser told me, they said, cruise again. Don't base your opinion on cruising on this cruise. They said, please do it again because this wasn't it. And I knew it wasn't it. I ain't never been on a cruise, but it was good. Don't get me wrong, like I said. But the crazy thing was, you spend all this money on a cruise, and so room service was an additional charge of $12. But I'm going to be real with y'all. I ate my best food from room service. I did. And this how y'all know it was bad for me. Outside of that New York strip I had, the best thing I had was a damn turkey sub from room service with a Greek salad. The Greek salad was so good I made me one when I got home. I have some downstairs in the refrigerator now. But yeah, that turkey sandwich with that roll was on the money. Now, I done spent damn near how much? Let's just put it in. And then in the end, I spent $270 to park at the terminal. And I don't regret that because I'm going to tell you, after getting off that boat, all I had to do was cross the street. I had called the number from inside, and this dude pulled up with my damn car, and I was out of there. Yes, the 270 was like 260, so we say 270 was expensive. But in the grand scheme of things, after everything that had happened on that damn boat, it was freezing in New York. After I lost my luggage for a few minutes because I didn't have the proper tags on it when I had to pick it up. I missed the pick. It was just a lot going on, but it was worth it. That was worth it. But just know, when you're cruising, you gotta make sure y'all have money. I'm telling you, because there are added costs. Thankfully, my travel agent included my taxes and everything, so I didn't owe anything when I got off the boat. And like I said, my credit card was hooked up to my room or whatever. But when he called me yesterday, he said, I gotta call Deidre because he had called 2 other people that he put on that cruise. And he said, I gotta know whether you had a good time. And he couldn't believe it. But it was funny because he was laughing and crying at the same time because he felt horrible. But I told him, I was like, dude, don't even fucking worry about it. It was all good. Because I'm going to be compensated. They're going to give me at least 40 to 50% off on another cruise on one of their bigger ships, one of their higher end ships. Absolutely. Will I ever sail out of New York again? Who knows? Maybe I don't know. I don't know if it was see, I can't go because it was like, the water coming out of New York is choppy. However, one of my peoples just went on this cruise in August and she didn't say none of that. So was it the time of the year? Was it? And I believe these bitches was speeding. I'm not even going to front y'all because, like I said, the boat was 4 hours late coming in. We were supposed to leave New York at 4 p.m. We didn't leave New York until 8:30. They usually have that Bon Voyage party, but I guess it was cold and we were late. Hell, I didn't even know the boat was moving. Where was I? I think I was eating somewhere, and I said, "Oh, we moving." I looked out the window or something. So, right. So will I cruise again? I will. I'm gonna do it one more time. It was all right, but I think I'll fly out of. See, that's the other thing. I don't want the hassle. I don't want to have to fly to Florida, get a hotel room because you shouldn't fly in on the same day as your cruise, just in case there's an issue with your flight. You'll miss your cruise. But that was the point of me going out of New York. I didn't want to do all of that extra shit. I usually fly to wherever I'm going and just go to the hotel and chill. I like that too, but I didn't want to do all that. I didn't want to go to the airport, stand in line, fly out, stand in line again, then catch a ride to the resort. I didn't want to do all that. So I said, let me just leave from New York. So I think that's why I really didn't get mad about the 4-hour wait time. But normally when you show up at the cruise ship, you just get your ass on and you go on about your business and start your day. I won't be too frustrated, however, because I did see a video recently, maybe like 2 days ago. These people were on the boat for 4 hours and they canceled the cruise while they were on the damn boat. Can you imagine? There would have been a riot on that boat because, like I said, you had New York, New Jersey, Philly, D.C., Maryland in the house. Honey, they would have Boston. They would have tore Pier 91 down. Let's just put it that way. It would have turned very ugly very fast. There weren't a lot of children on the cruise. I also want to stress to people how important it is that you dress appropriately. I was so pissed when I was standing up there waiting and I saw the jump off with the little white girl over the money. There was this couple who came out. It was a white woman and a black man, right? First of all, I didn't realize the black man was with her at first. But I'm looking and I'm like, why these little kids don't have on a jacket? They don't have a hat, nothing. This bitch got a jacket on, though. And I'm like, yo, you're not going to put his hat on? She's like, oh, he don't like wearing it. See, I don't understand you parents with these little kids talking about what the kids don't like. I grew up in the 70s. Nobody gave a fuck about what the kids don't like. The kids are going to follow the rules and do what is required, period. If it's cold, you wear a hat. I hated hats, but I bet you when I was with my mama, I had one on. Now, when she wasn't looking, I took that bitch off. But when I was with my mother, I had a hat on. I had on a coat. I had on everything that I needed to stay warm. So the father, I noticed this black dude walking behind her, and I said, where's the coat? And he was like, man, I don't know, we forgot it. So I took my hand, I held it up like this, and I slapped it back and forth like this. And I said, don't ever do that again. Why would you bring your babies out with no coat? It's fucking December, people. I don't even care if it was nice that day, which it wasn't. The day we left, it was 32 degrees in New York City. But why wouldn't your kids have a coat on in December? Make that make sense. Like, what's wrong with y'all? You go out inappropriately dressed. I've seen so many people down there because, again, I think people who cruised before know you just show up, you get on, and you're good. But being that we were out there waiting, there were people out there who didn't have on socks. People had on slides. People ain't have on a coat, and they was freezing their asses off. Do you hear me? When I was a little girl, I went out one day. My mama said, where your coat? It was in March. I never forget. It was a nice day, like pre-spring. So I'm telling you, bring your coat with your jacket. I ain't have one. Guess what? Froze my ass off. Ever since that day, I might have been about 8. I never leave home without a sweater or a jacket. But if you're going out in the wintertime in D.C. and New York City, like I said, I don't care if it was 65 degrees yesterday. It's New York City. It is December. It is cold here. Where's your damn coats? And people, stop going outside looking a hot-ass mess. Comb your hair. Put on some decent clothes. Wash your ass. People can tell when you showered or not, but take pride in who you are. You don't know who you're going to run into. You don't know how long you're going to be there, but you're going on a cruise or anywhere. You should look decent. I get dressed to go to the laundromat if I have to. Whatever. It's not going to kill you to put on a clean pair of pants, a clean shirt, and a hat. You ain't got to comb your hair. Just clean yourself up and look decent. But people do not do that. People come out all kind of way looking a mess. And then you pass that shit on to your children. Like I said, for children to be outside in New York City in 32-degree weather, down at the pier going on the cruise with no coat, make it make sense. Right. And I'm glad I bought, I had summer clothes with me. I had my winter clothes. I had stuff because I realized that, yes, we're going on a cruise. Yes, we're going to somewhere warm, allegedly, but you got to get there. It's December on the East Coast. All right. I just wanted to pop in real quick so y'all don't forget about me. I also, it's funny when you put up something positive. I put up this meme the other day. Not a meme. I did this TikTok, right? And it was TD Jakes in the background. And it was saying how you were meant to walk alone because you were not meant to turn into them. And that is a fact. But you feel bad about putting shit up like that. Like, I'm like, why do I feel bad about putting up something positive when if it was something negative, I could put it up with pride and honor and not feel one way about it because I know people accept that. But because I'm saying something positive, I'm like, people are going to look at me like, oh, she thinks she this, and oh, like they do me anyway, right? But I have to let that go because the reality is that I'm here to uplift people and make people feel better. And in doing that, if it hurts your feelings, that would be your problem. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me thinking I'm better and all of this and that. This is about me being me. And this is about you being you. And this is about me being here to uplift someone. I don't know. It may be one person who listens to me, because there are people who feel bad about not being included. There are people who feel bad about not being part of the in crowd. Like, my family don't call me and all of this and extra shit. Sometimes it's because the anointing on your life is so powerful and so strong. People cannot stand you. People can't stand you because you can stand alone. I know why people hate me. I figured it out a long time ago. You know what I mean? I'm not for everybody. I'm truthful. I say what I mean and I mean what I say, and I have my own way of looking at things. And no, I don't have a group thinking mindset. I don't care if everybody else does it. That's not what I'm going to do. More than likely, if everybody else is doing something, that's exactly what I'm not going to do. That's who I am as a person. And I've had to live with that my entire life. I told you I've always been considered a weirdo, even from a little kid. Because I've always been happy. I've always seen the glass as half full. I didn't grow up in a negative environment. I didn't grow up in hell. And then I also realized, too, I was talking to this lady while I was on the cruise, and I was like, she was talking about growing up poor. And then I realized, I said, I didn't grow up poor. I grew up in the projects, but I didn't grow up poor at all. First of all, I was mentally a millionaire because my mother instilled things in me. But not only that, I've never been homeless. I've never been hungry. I've never had my lights off. I've never missed a holiday. I've never not gotten new shit when school started. I've always been taken care of. Like, every day was Christmas in my life. Was I a poor person? No. But I do realize that there are a lot of poor people in the world. And those are the people, and not financially poor, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally poor. You have to be careful and stay away from those people. And in 2023, I recommend that people stop seeing the good in people, or I see potential. When you start out by saying you see potential in someone, what you're saying already is that they're not who you want them to be. You're already judging them. You feel like they could be better. Then you need to mind your business and keep walking, because it's not your choice. You don't have the right to tell somebody that. Or they don't even know this when they become friendly with you. You in your mind are saying, oh, I see potential in this person. They could do this and they could do that. And you're wrong for that. You're the person with the problem, not them. So, but in 2023, I just think everybody needs to focus on themselves more. Like, if you're out there seeing the potential in people, it's not the person that you're seeing the potential in that has the problem. You're the person. You're judgmental. You don't accept people for who they are. And what's important is that you start accepting people at face value. Many of y'all will see people do negative shit to other people, and then you are friends with this person and you think that it's not going to happen to you. And it is. It's going to happen to you too, because that is that person. That is their behavior. That is who they are. So if you stick around, it's going to happen to you too. It may take a minute, but it will always come back around to you, because that is who they are as a person. Period. Point blank. Roll solo. You can count on yourself. You can trust yourself. Focus on your faith, your spirituality, and just focus and center on that. When you put all your energy on other people, you're going to always be disappointed. People are never going to give back what you give. Understand that. Give only what you're comfortable with giving. Like, don't go all out and be so great to someone and be their savior because you want that in return, because that's never going to happen from that person. It's just not going to happen. They're never going to meet your standard. But again, a lot of us go into things talking about the potential they're seeing in someone else. You're not being realistic with yourself. You need to be focused on you. You need to meet people and accept them for who they are right at that moment. And if they're not who and what you want them to be, then walk along. Move it along. It's like, even on YouTube, I left a comment one day. I was on watching the shorts, right? And somebody dropped down and was like, they like cussed me out. And I said to them, it's amazing how miserable you are as a person, because I don't know you. I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking about you, but you dropped down here to insult me, call me names, and disrespect me over a comment that had nothing to do with you. See, those are the people that we're dealing with in the world. I don't even get angry at things like that anymore, because people are miserable. People have come from fucked up environments and they want to put it on you too. However, if you're not that person, separate. Separate. Don't acknowledge, don't engage, don't get angry anymore. Separate. Like I quickly just told him, I'm like, you're a miserable bitch to stop by here and make a comment to someone who doesn't even know you. That's what people don't understand. See, I have a face. I am who I am. But these are avatars. And a lot of times I think these are bitches who watch me anyway, who just want to have something to say but don't have the balls to say it to my face under their own name. And that is even more disgusting to me. Because I mean what I say and I say what I mean. Anything I say to you, about you, I'll say it to your face. It is what it is. Because I have a face. But I'm not out here to disrespect and harm and hurt people. But if you're friends with people and that's what they do and they're always negative and they always talking shit about people and they're always just in a bad place, why are you there if that's not who you are too? Even with the Shanquilla Robinson situation, I'm just so not clear on this. Like, because you had, what was it, 7 people there, 8 of them all together or whatever. And yes, it's horrible what happened to her. And I know the feeling because I've been in that situation, but I know to maintain myself and not say shit because I'm outnumbered. You know what I mean? Like, it can go left. See, people don't realize sometimes I'm looking out for you too. Like, people think, oh, she a punk bitch. Nah, I'm avoiding trouble for me and for you. I'm going to make the decision so none of us will have any regrets at the end of the situation. Period, point blank. What DMX say? Bad decisions lead to last decisions, and many people make bad decisions based off their emotions and words and he said, she said, and misunderstandings. But when you surround yourself, and I've been friends with these people, and they're all horrible people, either I'm a horrible person too, or was I trying to see the good in people where there never was any? How long do you stick around negativity until you realize that there is no good in these people? Because remember, when you have to find the good, there is none. There is none. Like, if I go to the grocery store and there's a pile of 40 rotten tomatoes, they're not all rotten, but some are bruised, some are damaged. I'm not digging through that pile to find the good one. I'm moving along. I'll do without. And that's how y'all need to do people. When you got to find the good and you got to dig deep and you got to make excuses and, well, they did this because and they didn't understand. Nah, you wrong. You need to get your ass on. We too old not to know better. And that's what we need to be telling our children. Our children are finding themselves in situations with people who right off the rip we know are bad people, but they want to see the good. I feel bad for them. Don't. I don't feel bad. Don't. You can't. It's not your place. Like I said, a lot of y'all are forgiving people for shit that they didn't do to you. You weren't the victim in that situation. You don't have the right to forgive them. They don't need your forgiveness. You need to acknowledge what they did to somebody else and understand that they'll do that shit to you. See, because y'all want to forgive them. Well, they deserve another chance, but they didn't do it to you yet. Because it's coming. Now, before I go, let me tell y'all, I saw something the other day that was, because y'all know I be watching Tracy. Tracy, I liked your new wig, girl, with your cramps and your black and gold. Tracy got her new look, okay? Because Tracy got a man at home. But Tracy, this is for the women of, you grown women. Y'all are too grown. The way y'all speak about sex is crazy. I heard 100 times say, if I wanted her, I could have her ussy if I wanted it. But I'm not a lesbian, but I could have her ussy if I wanted it. And whoever the person was who dropped down in the chat and told her to stop saying it, thank you. Thank you. Because sometimes you be on these panels and y'all be talking and y'all just going with the flow and y'all think y'all are being entertaining and you're not. You're playing yourselves. Have self-respect. Other people can't respect you when you don't respect yourselves. Period. Like I said, we get carried away. You can get carried away. See, I've seen it. I know the game. That's why I don't play the game like that. Like, people like, oh, you talk about them, but you don't. No, I will not. because shit get out of hand, and once you said some things, you can't take them back. You can apologize all you want. You can say you didn't mean it, but you can't take them back, right? We also have another situation over here where there's double standards going on, and y'all want to have a campaign. I don't have an issue with any of these people, but I will keep it real all the way around the board. You can't expect motherfuckers to feel sorry for terrorists. If someone is out here terrorizing people at their own free will when they fucking feel like it and make excuses for it, and then when something bad happens to them, you cannot expect people to feel bad for that person. It doesn't work that way. But see, what happens is y'all have your favorites. I'm straight across the board. I'm a fair person. It is what it is. I can't go to your house and burn your shit down and then get mad when somebody else comes to my house and try to burn my shit down too, because I've done it to somebody else. And now I want people to feel sorry for me, even though I've terrorized every motherfucker in the neighborhood. I can't do that. It doesn't matter whether people like this other person or not. We're both fucking terrorists. So if we're both terrorists, nobody's going to feel sorry for either one of us. I don't know why that's so hard to understand. You don't have to pick a side. You don't have to say this person is right and that person is right when both people are fucked up. It seemed logical to me. See, like, but again, I was raised different. I have a sibling. And when we did things and my mama couldn't decipher who did what, we both got our asses whipped. Period. It wasn't no... And sometimes it didn't matter who did what, because both of you should know better. So we're both wrong and we're both going to get our ass whipped. There'll be consequences for all involved. You know what I'm saying? It was rarely a time when only one of us went down. Real talk. So you're going to be held accountable. And that's why I hold everybody accountable. I don't pick sides. I'm not going to say you're right and you're right and you're right. There are situations where a motherfucker's 100% wrong. But what I'm talking about is when two terrorists, when two terrorists get together and they have a problem, it's really hard to pick who's right and who's wrong. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You don't have to pick a team. Both people could deserve what they're getting. That's just the way the game is played. But this is the way of life. Like, you can't be mad. It's just crazy that two terrorists, that's the best way I can describe it. Two terrorists are at war. Who's right and who's wrong? It's like Palestinians and Israel, like Israel, Palestine and Israel. Everybody got a different view on that. Who's wrong? Who's terrorizing who? Depends on who you ask. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But all of the things that, have been going on, at a certain point, it's been like 4 or 5 years, and as grown women, we do need to do better on the YouTube. Like, have you seen growth in yourself? Have you seen growth? And that's the real question, because in life, there should be growth. There should be change. Now, some of you have changed for the better. Many the worst. Many a combination. Don't get me wrong. I fuck with the terrorists. Like, as far as sometimes I understand them, sometimes I don't. But at the end of the day, I keep them back in my mind. And remember who people are. You have to accept people who they are at face value. Y'all see people do shit and then y'all want to make excuses for them. And no, that's just who they are and how they respond to shit. Whether you like it or not, that's who they are and how they respond. And it is what it is. Now, you can choose to deal or not. I don't. Because it's going to happen to you too. Right? It's going to happen to you too. Never think it's not going to happen to you. It's going to happen to you too. Negativity is a real thing. And see, a lot of these people, a lot of times, are mentally ill. They got issues and shit going on that they never address. Anger issues. Right. The me, the abandonment issues, the all kind of issues. And they all congregating in one place. That's dangerous. You got to step outside the box. And like I said, I'm in the box on many levels too, because when I posted something positive, I felt like, oh my God, you're gonna feel like, and that's true. People don't like those videos. They like, if I had came on here and cussed the bitch out, I would have got 125 likes. Yes, but when you speak positivity, it's not as popular. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now that I have a vision and I'm gonna follow it, and many of you are not gonna come, and it just is what it is, and I understand. But it will all sort itself out in the end, because I remember, uh, like, people are fucked up. So what they do is, when you fall out with a person on YouTube, they'll be like telling people, basically they'll send out dog whistles. Oh, I unsubscribe. So they want their people to unsubscribe from you too. I don't watch them anyway. That's the shit people say. And if y'all notice on TikTok, there's a trend. If you're a black girl, follow a black girl, and we're going to follow a black girl. And that's what it should be. And that's what it should be on YouTube, too. There's no reason why we are not all over 1,000. I mean, come on. But people want to argue and tear your channel down. And I unsubscribe, but let's say I lost 30 subscribers. I've gained 70. You know what I mean? So you'll gain back what you lose. You got to take a L. You know what I mean? But they say you can't win if you don't play. So play the game. Be true to yourself. Don't make content based on what other people think, because at the end of the day, you cannot please all these people and you don't know who they are. I noticed, like, depending on what you say or who you talk about, people will unsubscribe because they didn't like what you said about a certain person or your thought, opinion, or view on something. Fuck them. They're weak. Let them go. I'm not gonna dumb myself down to appease to some motherfuckers that I don't know, to accommodate some people who are always negative and angry and only want to hear negative shit anyway. You better choose wisely. I'm telling you. Choose you. And maybe you're a person who only want to speak negativity all the time. And then that's a problem in itself too. Get into the growth process. Seriously. Get into making change. Some of y'all like being spoken to, called names and talked down to, that excites you. And then if that's your thing, you got to ask yourself why. There's something wrong. Why do you want to be disrespected on a regular basis and you think it's funny? As long as you're getting attention, it's okay. Whether it be negative or not, it doesn't matter. As long as somebody is saying my name, you have a problem that you need to address. There's no reason why anybody want to be called names all day, all night, every day, and engage and then argue every day. You like that? That's abuse. Right. You're allowing people on the internet to abuse you who don't even know you. It's weird. Right. But again, when you start putting out positive things, you feel uncomfortable a little bit because you know that that's not what people want to hear. But that's what they need to hear. So, like I said, I got a little follow-up plan, a little things for the New Year's, that it is what it is. It is YouTube, But you got to break away from the pack at some point. You got to do some things that are a little different, you know what I mean? It's like the repeat commentary. Like, y'all didn't really hear me talk about the Shanquella Robinson case, because why? There was 700, I've seen so many videos about it. It was just unbelievable, like all repetitive information. I don't need to watch that. For what? Everybody jumped on one story and ran with it when there are 100 of them stories out there. You can go online and Google right now. Many of those stories are out there, but everybody want to talk about one thing. I don't know. It's like we got to, I don't know. Independence is not a real thing. Originality is not a real thing. Everybody copies to compete. And we're better than that. I mean, there's so many talented people. Like, even some of the people who are always in the midst of bullshit, some of these are the most creative people. Like, some of these reads. Shout out to William Carruthers, too. William Carruthers is this old dude in the beef sector. And I remember when he started coming, he used to always be on Miss Bless. However, man, Mr. Carruthers has grown so much. You could tell that he's been listening and learning. Because his reads and his comebacks and his timing, I mean, just really great. It's hilarious. You see it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You could change for the worse or the better. He's not a malicious person. No, not at all. But if he got to go there with you, he can now. Like, he got the stamina. He's been taking lessons. He's been paying attention. He got this thing down. But I think he's funny. I forgot what he was on the other day, and I saw a video clip of him. Who was he talking to? Oh, he was arguing with GX. He said, it was funny because they was going back and forth, and you could really not hear what William was saying at first, and then GX must have told William that he would F him up, and William said, the only thing you're going to get is, he said, you're going to get fucked up, cut up, or shot up. That's the only thing you're going to get over here. When I tell y'all I screamed, oh my God, that was so funny to me. Because it was like his whole mood just changed. I felt that old school 1970s G come out of him. Like, wait, what? Who are you talking to? Right. But just, being around continued negativity is going to make you or break you at the end of the day. Hopefully it's changing some of y'all for the better. Some of y'all needed to be around here and listen to these things because some of you all are getting ran over in your real life and you don't have a response. But from being around and listening to all this, oh, y'all got responses now. Oh, yeah. But I know because it's true. There are people who don't, I mean, I see it. I mean, it's not like I've never stood up for a person before here and there. You know what I mean? So we know there are people out there who just let people run over there. But I'm going to tell you, you spend enough time over here listening, you learn. When somebody come for you, oh, you shut it down real quick. Okay. But William is hilarious. I will say I've seen that in him. Like I said in the beginning, he was a little slow talking, a little bit more, but now he he quick to read. Okay. Quick to read. Hold up. All right, let me get up. I'm going to go swimming. I'm telling y'all, swimming changed my life, y'all. I don't get mad about nothing. Nothing. Because that gives me peace of mind, and I pray when I swim. That 1 hour, that's the best praying I do when I'm swimming. And I've lost another 10 pounds, y'all, so I'm down 40 pounds altogether. Which is great, and which is amazing that I lost weight on a cruise, ain't it? To let you know what I was eating. But I eat better now, and the food was more healthy. And if y'all notice, chocolate cake ain't chocolate cake no more. Cake is not as thick and as dense and as fat and as sweet as it used to be. Thank God I ate it when I did. I'm over it. I mean, the food on the cruise, y'all, I had called my daughter, and I was like, maybe I fell out of love with food. I don't know. And I wasn't smoking on the cruise either. I ain't smoked no Mary Jane or nothing like that. So that could have affected, but I don't think so. Like I said, the food just wasn't up to par. But anywho, I have to go and do some things now. It's almost 7 a.m. You all have a great day. Oh, yes, it's Christmas. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. And all those things. And I'll try to get in a Christmas mood today at some point. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Deuces.